Let's go. I was born to kill it. I was meant to win. I am down and willing, so I will find a way. It took a minute, now it didn't happen right away. When it get hot in the kitchen, you decide to stay. That's how it winners made. Stick a fork in the hater on my dinner plate. I walk into the fire like it's just a bit of flame. I switch my style up, watch the money pile up. I'ma get rich with life.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Clydesdale Media Podcast. My name is Scott Swaits from the Clydesdale. We are here highlighting the athletes of the 2024 Legends Masters CrossFit Games. And I have with me Clint Russell, Masters athlete, 40 to 44-year-old division, giving us a glimpse into the real life of a Masters athlete. What's going on, Clint?
Hey, how we doing, Scott?
Good.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. Really appreciate what you're doing with the Masters athletes. It's super cool to get to feature us. I'm at a birthday party of one of my daughter's friends, and I've got my 4-year-old son with me. So, like I said, I apologize for any interruptions. It's just kind of how it had to work out. I didn't want my wife is going to work out with one of the other ladies in the gym, as well as got our other 2 kids. So that's this is real life.
Yeah. So what's cool about these profiles are, as a Masters athlete, you have to live a real life. You're the father of 4 kids.
Yes, sir.
You're married. You own 2 different businesses at least. And
yeah. So
you're living life trying to get everybody to get fit.
Yeah. So like this year, I'll tell you the thing that is the hardest thing for me. So I have 2 businesses, CrossFit Coronado and One Life Physical Therapy. Wife's a nurse. She's also a nurse in the Navy Reserve, which she joined last September. And she was gone for 5 weeks during semifinals. The thing that I struggle with the most is not necessarily training, but feeling like I'm maybe not spending as much time on ultimately things that are a higher priority than fitness. And so sometimes I gotta, I have an awesome team around me though that tells me to knock that off and just do my thing, which is really awesome.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of athletes who feel like they have a lot of buckets that they have to take care of, and they feel like it's a hard time being great at any one of them. They're just kind of average at all, and that's a feeling and a guilt that they have being a Masters athlete.
What usually, like for me, is like, so I can set my own schedule with my business, and I could back off and train more, but for most of the year I don't, so that I could do that now.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I like the way that I'm trained now. I could not do that year round. There's no way. Like my business, just life would fall apart. But I kind of don't do that year round, so that now when I need to, I can.
So you're CrossFit OG. Like, you started back when there were very few affiliates in the world, 2008.
We were, I think, pre-Rogue, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. You actually went to 3 regionals in what, 10, 11, and 12?
Yes, sir. It was a long time ago. It's very different now. But yeah, that was just, it's amazing to see how training has improved, as well as just how much better everyone is. Like the Masters now, probably in the 45 to 49 division, at least would smoke those regionals.
Yeah.
Back then. I mean, people are just so much fitter. It's insane. I mean, it really like, it's exciting to see like what the possibilities are going forward. And then this is kind of getting a little, you just made me think, like with the Masters division, I think something that the Masters division does is there's a lot of people that kind of gives them something to be excited about, and there's, maybe it's not as big as the individuals, but I know for me, training for this, like I don't drink alcohol, at least not when I'm training for this. I tend to eat a lot better. I tend to sleep more. It tends to get people doing a lot of things we want them to do in the gym that are ultimately gonna make them better at life. And so I hope it continues.
And all those things set an example for your clients, your kids, your friends. Um, do you ever think about that all these things you're doing are setting a major example for the people around you?
Yeah, I was just talking to my daughter about swimming. My 8-year-old wants to start swimming, and she does gymnastics. And I was just talking to her how what you're really learning when you do those things is like you have to get like you've probably seen that Instagram post from Tom Brady where he's like everybody should play football because getting up early and training's hard.
Yeah.
Like the the ability to just like wake up, set your mind to something, and get it done. That's such a valuable skill, that translates to everything else you do in your life. To be accountable to yourself and to your teammates and whatever your responsibility is, just to go out there and make it happen. And that's sports does such a good job of teaching that.
So when you started CrossFit in 2008, first of all, how did you find it?
I gotten out of the Navy, or actually I was on my way out of the Navy, and there was a guy that I knew from the Navy, Andy and Steve. Andy Stump and Steve Mitchell, they owned CrossFit Coronado, and so I just went there and started working out, and that was kind of something I noticed about it is at the time, I'm not anymore, but at the time I was a pretty good runner, but there were these hills kind of where my wife now, we were dating at the time, and it would take me, I don't know, 20 plus minutes to get up to them. I don't know how far it was, but I had to walk. I couldn't run the whole time. And then I started doing CrossFit only twice a week. And it went from taking like 20 minutes to like 14 minutes because I was able to run the whole time. And I was like, whoa. And I hadn't been running. And that sold me on this.
And it wasn't that you were falling more in love with your wife, and so you just got faster?
Hey, she hates running. So I'm on my own in that, but no.
So it only took you a year of doing CrossFit to then coach CrossFit.
Yeah. So uh, Andy sold, like Steve took over the gym in 2009. So they needed another coach. Uh, I got certified. I started coaching. And then this was obviously a very long time ago when I would say nobody really had that much experience. There wasn't that much experience. Um, and then I took over the gym in August of 2010 is when I bought it. Uh, and kind of the rest, yeah, it's such an amazing community.
So you've been an affiliate owner for almost 15 years now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a long time.
You're also a physical therapist. You hold a doctorate in physical therapy.
Yes.
How do you balance running two businesses? And do you do any of that physical therapy out of the gym?
So we do all of it out of the gym.
Okay.
In 2014, I went back to school and I got my doctorate in physical therapy. And then I kind of, started like I also had to work. So it was online. It took 4 years. So it's done in 2018. I kind of started my practice like November 2019, but like I mostly just worked at the gym. I'd see a patient every now and then. My wife worked full time as a nurse. We were good. We were happy with that. And then COVID happened. Gyms closed. Uh, you know, that was pretty rough. So I got where I had the idea that if I could accept TRICARE, which is the military health care, being that we're in Coronado, most of the people at our gym were in the military, as well as there's a lot of people on the island. It would remove the financial barrier to entry, and it would basically save us from COVID. And I was hoping that I could like do that and maybe see like 10 people a week, and that would allow us to survive during COVID. But fast forward to now, we have myself, 3 other therapists, as well as a scheduler. All of us are military spouses, and it's something I'm really proud of. Like the people working for me are able to set their own schedule and also make more than they would at the surrounding places.
That's awesome. So I asked this of all physical therapists. When you're being the athlete and you have your physical therapist on your physical therapy hat on one side and you, the athlete, on the other side, while you're working out, which one do you listen to more?
You know, I kind of like, I was a strength and a coach first, and coaching, like I'm a physical therapist, but I think like a coach. And so what I like to think about, like, so if we're doing, say, bar muscle ups, I'm thinking about the technique of the movement, but like a physical therapist, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So I'm like, no, I have to make sure I keep my like scapula engaged and push down on the bar here, because that's going to give me the greatest transfer of force. So it's almost like I'm a coach who happens to be a physical therapist.
So now say you have a twinge in your shoulder. Who do you listen to?
I'm going to think about what that twinge is. Why do I have that twinge? Are we missing internal, like, what can I, like, is this like a rotator cuff problem, or like, is maybe my collarbone not grinding right? I'll more try to think about, why is this happening?
Yeah. So in that part, the physical therapist takes over because he wants to solve the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will tell you, I don't know how, I think probably being a physical therapist would be an advantage if you were one of the younger athletes. But to be brutally honest, it's a massive advantage as a master's athlete. Like understanding knowing what you can push through and what you can't. And then being able to ask other physical therapists what they think about it, being able to kind of fix yourself is a pretty big, that's a huge advantage.
I know some of the younger ones have always said during the off season, they listen to the physical therapist part of their brain.
Mm-hmm.
In a competition, they tell that person to shut up.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of, I think I'm thinking like a physical therapist during the warm-ups and stuff, but definitely not during the actual event. I like to think we're using physical therapy to maximize performance, not necessarily just to treat injuries.
So you've been at this since 2008. What? That's a long time.
Yeah.
And you are going to your first CrossFit Games.
Yes, that's correct.
What does it? So almost 20 years you've been at this, and you're heading to your first CrossFit Games. What is the excitement for you heading there this year?
I am really excited. It's kind of hard to put into words because it's taken a lot of work over a long time. I think I'm mostly right now. Honestly, I don't know if you've ever heard the term like porthole mentality. Like I'm thinking about the training piece that I'm going to do tomorrow and just kind of focusing on doing the best that I can one day at a time at the things that I get there. And then once that gets into my circle, then we're going to focus on that first workout and then the second workout. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I try not to get either too excited or too down on myself either way. Instead, focus on what do I need to do right now in order to set myself up for success.
Would it be safe to say that, as an affiliate owner for 15 years, are the people around you that have been along this journey with you more excited than you are at this point?
I'm definitely excited. I think I'm just too distracted by the amount of stuff that I have to do.
Right.
But yes, the people around me are extremely excited and very, they're incredibly supportive.
What has their support meant to you?
Oh my gosh. Like one of my, a couple of the therapists of all three of them actually, Alyssa, Melissa, and Krisha have all helped me with my shoulder. both Desiree and Margaret have helped cover classes so I can get workouts in, or like, all like, it's the world. It wouldn't be possible without them. It just simply wouldn't happen. It means the world.
So I saw a post you made where you get up every morning at 4:30 a.m. to start. Basically, you've created a habit where you do a number of exercises every morning to get ready for your day.
Yeah. So I will get up now based on the time I get up changes a little bit based on where I got to get the kids to camp and what training I have to do and scheduling like it. But yes, I wake up, I walk into my basically exact habits. I wake up, I go to the bathroom, walk to the kitchen, toss my coffee in the microwave. My coffee is microwaving. I'll hit a bent knee soleus stretch, kind of make my coffee while I'm doing that. And I'll do that for about 2 minutes. Go to in the hallway, world's greatest on each side, couch stretch on each side. Then I'll sit in a squat with my back on the wall and kind of turn and reach up, and I'll hold that for a couple minutes on each side. And I do that 7 days a week. And then there's quite a bit of other stuff that I'll do throughout the day, but that's kind of the minimum that I'll do every day. And I do that first thing when I wake up.
When did you create that habit?
I've been doing that for not necessarily those stretches. The stretches that I've done has kind of changed just based on my body and what I feel like the needs are. But the waking up and hitting kind of some mobility, 10 years, like, it's been a long time.
And now it's just what you do. You don't even think about it?
Yeah, I'm kind of like, it's almost like I have to do that before I can do anything else. It's just kind of autopilot. But like, one thing that I wish I could impart on people is like when we do those exercises, right? People think that, we're kind of doing them to prepare for whatever it is we're about to do, which that's true. Yes, I want to be kind of loosened up and have good range of motion for the stuff that we're going to do, but that's not the main reason. The main reason is that we're trying to remodel tissue over the long term. Like, a cell lives 90 to 120 days. And if you think of a cell like a block, your body's always replacing these blocks from the day you're born till the day you die. And so how it arranges the blocks, though, is according to stress. If you sit around and don't do anything, like, for example, your foot's in a cast and it's stuck, the body remodels the tissue, but it's what's called dense irregular connective tissue, where the blocks are not lined up any particular way. It's just, think of like a bird's nest when you go fishing. It's just all everywhere. And so it's not designed to resist stress in any one direction. But if we're constantly doing things to maintain that range of motion, it's not going to go away. And it works very akin to compound interest. You gotta put enough effort in to get that matching on your 401k. And that's kind of how this works.
I like the way that it is, setting yourself up for retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah. The older we get, the more we need everything put in the right place.
Exactly. And if you kind of start at a certain point, you don't ever stop doing it, you'll continuously get better. I don't know what the ceiling is, but if I could, it's so important to just do a little bit every day. There's so much value that can be gained from that.
Is your plan to try to compete for as long as you can?
I'll always sign up and do it. What's going to change, though, is how much time I can put into it. Like, there's a lot of changes happening with my business this year, and I'm going to have to really focus on that after this. Doesn't mean I won't compete next year. I'll always sign up and do it, but I just don't know how much time, with 4 kids, my schedule is not getting freer.
Right.
Like, fun. But like, I will always compete and do the best that I can, even because I want to make sure I want to support it financially, because I want to make sure it goes. because I mean, like I said, I guarantee you there are a lot of people that, eat better, don't drink alcohol, do more mobility, blah, 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 a lot of things. And we all have to support this for that to continue.
How old are your kids?
We got a 12, 9, 8, and 4.
Okay. So you're just getting into the busy season.
Yeah, I feel like we've been busy for a long time.
When my daughter hit high school, we went into overdrive for busyness. It was crazy. And I only had one.
It's okay. I mean, it's good though.
Yeah.
We want them to get to do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, of course. She's 23 now and doing great. And now I have all the time in the world and wish I had more time with her.
Yeah, it's there's going to come a time when they don't want to hang out with us anymore, but
yeah,
hopefully not for a long time. But
so, who all's heading to Birmingham with you?
Right now, just my wife, and then I wanted to make sure when we were talking about the people I mentioned, Kriger Training and Marius Olson. They've been coaching me and done a really awesome job. I don't know if they're gonna make it or not because it's a ridiculously long way for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. Definitely my wife going. What's up, buddy? I'll be done in a minute. Okay, just go play. Don't worry. We got another hour to play here. Yeah.
So are you the only Kriger Masters athlete? I know that they've hit it pretty hard, team and elite. You're the first Masters athlete I've heard going with Kriger.
They had 2 more, but I don't know if they registered.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a long way for them. I was talking with my coach after semifinals. I was like, he was complaining to me about how it was really hot in Norway. I was like, and he told me what the temperature was, and it equates to 75 degrees. And I was like, oh man, have you been to Alabama? He's like, no. I was like, oh dude.
Yeah.
You're going to a rainforest, but that's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if they're going or if the other 2 are going or not.
What are your expectations this year?
I don't know. It's kind of like you obviously want to win, but I can't control what everybody else does. What I want to do is go out there and execute on each event to the very best of my ability and feel like I could not have done anything different.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds good.
But
I know you've got a lot going on right now, so I don't want to keep you too long. I want to thank you for taking the time out. We're going to be in Birmingham. We're doing a documentary behind the scenes. So we're going to be backstage, Ellie Hiller and myself, talking to all the athletes and trying to capture the magic of what the Masters divisions are.
Yeah, I hope that's really nice of you to do that. Because I think this has the potential to be a big thing because it's all people can relate to us.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't get me wrong. We love watching all the, younger dudes snatch 315 and do all this crazy stuff. But we don't have any, I don't have anything in common with them.
Right.
And I think most people don't either. But we still think it's super cool. But with the Masters athletes, people have a lot more in common with them. And I would, for anyone that says that CrossFit doesn't make money off the Masters athletes, just me being a businessman, I would challenge that thought process just based on the open registration. Because if you were to lose the Masters games, to think that that's not going to affect the open registration is just an unrealistic. That's just not a realistic.
I agree.
Thought process. It might not affect it that much the first year, but it would kill it in the long term.
My stats and info person did research from 35 to 54. The Masters athletes have a combined 3 million followers on Instagram.
Yeah. And there's a lot of good we can do with this. I mean, think if it inspires somebody to get moving, get off the couch, start taking better care of themselves. I think your masters athletes definitely, especially when we see like the older, like the 60-plus-year-old women doing bar muscle ups. That's freaking cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I mean, that's really, because like then other people see it and they're like, whoa, and that motivates them to hopefully get to the gym and take good care of themselves.
Yeah, and we just need to give you guys a vehicle to be able to show your story. And that's what we're trying to do.
Well, you're doing awesome, man. Really appreciate it.
Well, Clint, thank you very much. And nobody can relate to you more than the world who has sat at a birthday party with their kid trying to get something accomplished.
Yeah.
So with that, thank you very much for taking the time out. Thank you to everybody who's listening. We'll see everybody next time on the Clydesdale Media Podcast.
Are you having a good